All right, my friends. Hope you are doing fantastic. My name is Howard Williams, where I share mindset shifts with you to not only improve your quality of life, but also to help you actually start that online business you've been meaning to start. All right. So, what I wanted to do today is talk about getting over the fear of posting. All right. So if you are a newer online coach, right, there's tons of ways to get clients, right? You can do some kind of ads, you can DM people, or you can do some kind of posting on social media, right? And the issue a lot of people have is they're too scared to flipping post. My friends, if you want to grow some kind of audience, you're gonna have to post in some capacity, all right? And the first step to actually getting to post is getting over the self-doubt that comes with posting, all right? And so I've done tons of research and myself going through different coaching programs and trying to grow my own online personal training business. I've been through those struggles before, all right? Which is why I'm here to help you, all right? So if you do have self-doubt when it comes to posting, one thing that really helps in this kind of situation, for one, is understanding, why do I have this self-doubt in the first place? Why do I have doubt when it comes to posting? What is it I fear? All right? Because a lot of the times when people have some kind of doubt about anything, it's related to some kind of fear. All right? So when it comes to posting, what do you fear and what doubt is that creating? Do you fear the fact that nobody's going to see your post? Do you fear the fact that nobody's going to want your services? Do you fear the fact that people are going to ignore what you have to say, or they're going to fear that you don't know what you do? You fear that they're going to call you out for not knowing something? What is it that you fear? All right? That's the first step. So take a minute to 5 minutes, write down, just think about this stuff, write down, what do I fear if I were to post this thing? All right? Those examples I gave, chances are you fall into one of those camps, all right? And then once you figure out what the fear behind posting is, you can link that to the doubt, right? For example, if I fear that people will think I don't know what I'm talking about in my post, then chances are my doubt is I doubt I'm smart enough. I doubt I've done enough research. I doubt I can actually give value, right? See how we're linking that fear to that doubt? Now here's where it becomes flipping magical, my friends, all right? You end up switching how you perceive this fear, all right? Because things only stay as a fear because we let them stay as fears. The biggest thing when it comes to shifting your mindset and actually doing work with your online business, the biggest thing you can do is learn to shift how you perceive things. And so if we can change how we perceive a certain fear, or not even a fear, if we can shift how we perceive a certain situation, then it can change it from fear to enjoyment. All right? Think of this for a second, right? What if, let's say you're scared of spiders. Now, I'm not an arachnophobia expert, all right? So I'm not an expert in deleting fears per se and getting over arachnophobia. But what I do understand is how the mind works, all right? And so, and this actually worked for me a little bit too. If you look at spiders as this thing that is venomous or poisonous, whatever the right terminology for it is, whatever it is, if you look at these spiders as things that can harm you, these things that can get into your mouths when you're sleeping, these things that look creepy, it's easy to fear them, right? Because we're attaching all these negative connotations to them. But what if we shifted how we see spiders, right? If instead of looking at spiders as these creepy crawly things, if we looked at them as things that are a lot smaller than us, that in all honesty we can crush at any time if we wanted to, or these things that help us to get rid of other unwanted critters in our house, and these things that most of the time don't even want to get near us, they just happen to get near us, they'd rather run away from us and mind their own business. If we look at those spiders in that light, then our perspective changes. And now, chances are we're not as scared of spiders. Now, like I said, I'm not a dang expert on phobias, so I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to exactly work, but it's probably going to make you a bit less scared of spiders, right? And it's the same thing when you're talking about posting on social media, right? If you're going to post on social media and get over that fear of it, well, instead of saying to yourself, people are going to think I'm stupid, they're going to think I don't have enough value, they're going to think, they're just going to gloss over my post, right? Instead, look at it as, well, the amount of views I get will tell me what I can do to change my hook or to change what I'm talking about. Or if people tell me that what I'm talking about is wrong, maybe I can learn something new from, maybe I can learn something new about that subject, right? You see what we're doing? We're changing our perspective on the outcome, all right? If you don't get many views, that's simply a way to see what you can change. If people tell you you're wrong about something, that's simply a path to figure out what more you can learn. For one, you're the expert, so they might be wrong. And if they are right, that's just another point of learning for you, all right? It's just all feedback that you can learn from, all right? So if you do fear posting, don't look at the fear of they might think this or I might not be able to give value. Look at it as, what is this lack of views telling me? What can I improve upon, right? I can learn from this. I can learn from people telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about, right? I can do more research and then respond in the comments, helping them to get more value, right? Or making another post saying, I'm sorry, I got this wrong. This is what actually is the case. And when you do that, people respect authenticity, and they respect a person that can own up to their mistakes, right? Because nobody's perfect. They respect a person that can own up to their mistakes, and they are more likely to listen to you because they know that you're not trying to be this cocky person who never says they're wrong, right? You can admit when you're wrong, right? If you fear getting information wrong, right? So it's all about the perspective that you have when it comes to the outcome. It can either be a learning experience or some kind of experience that's going to be detrimental to your whole existence. How you choose to perceive any outcome is how you will tend to act. And I can guarantee, if you can learn to perceive, well, first of all, learn to focus on the process, but second of all, if you can learn to perceive any outcome as a learning experience, then my friends, you cannot fail, because every failure, quote unquote, becomes a learning step. All right. So, wow, my voice just cracked. Disgusting. Hopefully that was helpful though. Hopefully you got some nice value from this video. I'll see you tomorrow. Stay blessed. Keep on pushing for your goals. Till next time. Peace.